hearings for Monday, July 30th, 2018. Before we get to the public hearings portion of the meeting, there's some house cleaning business that we need to take care of. Once we do get to the public hearings, I will read the appeals into the minutes. If you are here for a variance, it is incumbent upon you to give us what your hardship is for that variance. We can't come up with that hardship for you. It's incumbent upon you to do that. Some of us may or may not have some questions for you. Once we are done, I'll open it to the floor if anyone has any questions. If you're here for a special permit, the hurdle is not as high as meeting a hardship. But we still may have questions, and the same thing, we'll open it up to the floor again. First order of business, review and approve minutes from the June 25th meeting. Has everyone had a chance to? Probably you didn't, but.
I just had
I
one.
did. There was
Yeah?
one correction on hearing 2, and I let Kelly know.
Okay.
And how about hearing 5? I recused myself from
Is that not listed?
Mr. Rosen read the legal acting board members, including Mr. But
Oh.
I recused myself.
That's right, yeah, so.
Yeah.
What was the one on the second one?
It was really Ms. Rubin who
Oh,
seconded, not Ms. Lynch.
okay. You got that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. With corrections, can I get a motion?
Move to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Unless I wasn't copied on it. Not that I was copied on it.
Here's the sign.
Just
Next,
anywhere.
yeah, at the end of it, though. Next order of business is bills, which I believe we just have one bill for $72 to the Telegram and Gazette for the legal notices of a prior meeting.
Move to approve said bill.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? There you go. Pass that whole thing down.
Yep.
First public hearing is continued 579, 585 Lake Street, Residence B2 District, Boylston CP LLC. I believe they are requesting another continuance.
So I haven't received a formal continuance letter. They have consistently continued this hearing, as you're well aware. I think the board may, at their discretion,
We can just close it and deny it.
that would be one thing,
Yeah.
or, if you want to continue it. I think it's the board's discretion what they want to do.
How many
So
times now?
just-
Yeah, this is like 4 or
Yeah.
5 at least, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do know that they're,
They're
I believe, very
negotiating.
close
Yeah.
to they're on the I believe, planning board agenda for next month.
Yeah, we had an informal
So-
discussion last meeting.
Okay. And do you have any objections if we close it?
I have no objections.
Okay, perfect. Can I get a motion
Motion to close the hearing?
and deny? Okay.
Huh? And deny.
Yeah, okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Think about that for a second. It's just a four, you can't sign this one. It's just a 4-person board.
Okay.
Our next hearing is also continued, 12 Miria Road, Jamie Falsher, continued from 8 29th and 6 25. A variance to construct an addition 19 feet from the rear lot line. Is Mr. Fauscher here? Any word from you?
Last I know, he was in a separate state, I believe Maryland, he was working on a separate job. That's why we continued it from the last hearing.
Yeah.
I did not reach out to him, but I was under the understanding that he was going to come back and provide us with the plot plan that we were waiting for. So,
Not?
And he
Okay.
is not.
he is not, yeah.
What's the deadline? on this one?
Sorry, this was,
What's that?
He's not in too much of a hurry to get it
No,
taken
really?
care of.
What's that?
As if it's from 529.
It's from 529.
Right.
It's gotta be close.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we continue to, I don't know if we got an extension last time. Which
I don't think we
probably
did. Did we?
need one.
we did not continue the decision deadline. I was under the
And what's the
impression.
deadline?
100 days from May 3rd, so,
So,
About August 10th, which would be,
before the next meeting.
yeah, before the next meeting. So I would suggest that we deny this, and if they want us,
Yeah, we were,
Before filing.
the plot plan provided was insufficient. There was
Okay.
deficiencies with it.
yep, okay. And, we can discuss whether, if he gets back to us before the filing. consider.
Right, so if we close it tonight and deny it, he
Yeah.
could come back and,
Well, he can request that we reconsider, I believe.
yeah,
correct?
right.
I believe that,
Withdraw, he can withdraw before it gets filed
The
with the town
deadline,
clerk.
right, yeah.
If it's filed with the town clerk, then he would have to ask us, I believe, to reconsider at that
Yeah.
point.
I believe so, yes.
So why don't we do that?
So I suggest we do that as well. Can I get a motion?
Motion to close the hearing and,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Actually, this should go in the file. Our first new hearing is to hear the appeal of Christopher and Deborah Reedy, 15 Jenny Street, Shrewsbury, Mass., for a special permit or variance to the Town of Shrewsbury zoning bylaw under Section 4-B and Section 7, Table 2, to construct a screen porch on an existing deck 30 feet from the rear lot line in the residence B1 district upon property located at 15 Jenny Drive. The subject premise is described on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 33, Lot 188000. Welcome.
Do I have to come up?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a little easier than when I do in October or November. Thank you. Hello.
Just state your name for the record
Christopher Reedy.
and tell us what you're doing.
We
Now,
have-
before you, this is a special permit?
Yeah, so this is a special permit. He's enclosing the existing deck and not the entirety, but because it's extending the roof line into the setback, it could be considered a substantial addition. I wanted to have the board be able to make
The decision.
a decision on that rather than me do that in a
Yeah,
vacuum.
and
so.
we haven't heard back from. town
No,
council.
so the memo on these has been prepared. It's being reviewed by staff
Okay.
right now,
So
so
until we hear from them, I'm going to suggest that this would be a
a special
special
permit,
permit.
yep.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Okay. We have an existing 16 by 14 deck extending off the back of the house. The back of the deck is 30 feet from the property line as I measured it. The screened-in section will go 12 feet out from the house. There's a 4-foot overhang, so it won't affect or won't extend anything that way. It is going to be a screen porch and nothing else. We're leaving the decking in place. It won't be changed in my lifetime.
So, let me just, so it's an existing deck,
Yes,
and I have to assume it's been there for a long time.
1994.
Okay, back in the days when you didn't need,
Ron came down and looked at it.
right, well, he wouldn't need that
But
to
no
inspect it
permit.
as the building
Yes.
inspector, but it didn't need a, back in those days, the rules were,
Okay.
that it didn't need a,
It was
didn't
included
need a
in the,
variance or a special permit, yeah.
Oh, okay,
It wasn't considered, back then, decks weren't part of the structure,
all right.
I believe. Okay, and so so you're leaving 4 feet of the deck
As is,
exposed,
yes,
and then you're walling it from the 4 feet back?
correct.
Okay,
And it's 30 feet from the property line to the deck, and
To
then it's
the
another
edge of the deck and then another
4 feet.
4 feet, actually 3.85, that's when he measured it, further in.
what's the setback?
It would be 40 feet.
40? Okay. Okay,
What's the roof going to be like?
It'll be a flat, well, relatively, a slightly angled shed roof, just a flat roof, it'll be lightweight construction.
okay, so the only issue I would really have, you don't have a certified plot plan, huh?
Yeah, I thought we did. It was an old plan from a prior edition, but I brought it to the building department and they were satisfied
Okay.
with it.
Yeah, so,
Is it this one here?
That, yes.
yeah, so the plan doesn't have the registered engineer's seal on it, but, I would, again, kind of take into consideration the scope of work that's being proposed here.
Right.
Obviously, that's the discretion of the board,
To waive,
if that's needed, or if they could waive that requirement.
yeah, I guess in this case, I could see doing it because the deck is already there. And you're actually building from within that, you know, it's like you're 4 feet back. So I see it as big an issue, as if it were a new deck, or a new structure.
so another way maybe to say this is because he's going to construct something within the confines of the existing deck.
Right.
We may be okay with this plot plan. Now, I would just argue if I or someone else came before us with just this, is this enough?
Yeah. I would
With the
argue-
same case?
Again,
Yep.
under the same circumstances, yes.
So that-
It's not, it's the fact that it's an existing deck,
Yep,
and it's, the walls that are going up are further back. I would have an issue if it were a new deck.
Yeah.
Because then how do you measure? How do you measure from that it is 30 feet, that you
I
need a
agree.
10-foot variance? In this case, it's not, in that case, if it was a new deck, you would need a variance. I
you
believe.
agree?
You wouldn't see much on a certified plot plan either, since it's
Right.
within the footprint.
Right.
You'd just see this line where the beam would
Yeah,
be.
So who certified this one, the town?
it's not been certified,
It hasn't been.
no. It looks like it was done.
But it was submitted to the town at
Yeah.
one point for
Down
something.
at Shrewsbury.
Yep.
Well, it looks like the town did it,
Yeah,
actually.
that's from the.
96?
Yeah,
Pardon me, that's from the building department's files.
Yes. And it even has a permit number on it, so.
yeah. Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone in attendance who wish to be heard on this? Okay, there being no further questions or comments, we will take it under advisement. You will be notified of our decision.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Okay. Next page. Our next hearing, 6:30 hearing, is to hear the appeal, and I apologize if I am not getting your name right. Knock Do, 12 Power Avenue, Shrewsbury, Mass., for a variance from section 7, table 2, to construct a deck 30 feet from the rear property line in the Residence B2 district upon property located at 12 Power Ave. The subject premises on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 32, plot 419000.
Good evening.
Welcome.
You did get the name right. My name is Arthur Gray. I'm here on behalf of the homeowner, Noctu.
Okay.
His daughter is also here with us
Okay.
tonight. They've filed an application for a variance to build a new deck in the rear of their property, which would extend 12 feet from the existing structure and would come within 30 feet of the rear lot line. The current structure comes within 41 and a half feet. The homeowners are senior citizens, and this is, there currently is no deck on the house. This location in the rear left is the only location that's feasible to put a deck. The rear right side of the house is actually a breezeway and a garage, and the left side of the house is a bedroom space. So this is the only location with access to a common area of the home. The tax map shows that the adjoining properties on either side, or the abutting properties on either side, have existing decks or structures that extend closer than 30 feet to the rear lot line. So this encroachment would not encroach any closer than any other property in the neighborhood.
Okay, that's kind of irrelevant, really. in the sense
Okay.
that Each one stands on its own, and I'm presuming you're suggesting the hardship is the shape of the lot.
Correct.
Okay. Is the shed, is that staying?
Yes.
Okay.
The deck would be sort of a standard deck with PT wood and composite. It would not be enclosed or would not have a roof, and would have a single stairway. It'd be about 24 inches off the ground or so, the same height as the house.
So what is it, 12 by 20?
Roughly 12 by 19 technically, but yes.
Could you clarify for me on the plan, the area that's marked 19 by 12? That looks like it's,
Yes, that's a sunroom addition that was built last year. This is, so there was the original house, which was a ranch. At some point in the past, they built a breezeway and a garage addition. And then last year, they built a 12 by 19 sunroom in the rear, and now they'd like to build the deck off of the sunroom.
so what's the
The sunroom is 41 and a half feet from the rear lot line.
but is it basically like an enclosed deck? I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
that's a
what it is.
heated conditioned space.
Okay.
The sunroom is essentially an addition on the house
Okay.
that's fully enclosed and heated.
So there's no door or anything on that
There-
sunroom?
Currently, there's a door on the back of the sunroom with a 3x3 landing, and then I believe it's 3 steps down.
And that was done without variance, correct?
I don't think I needed one.
I believe that would have
That
met
would have met the
setback.
setback.
Yeah.
Okay,
missed
okay, so we're not gonna, okay.
What's the
And-
side yard setback on that?
The side yard setback, sorry, let me just get this, is 10 feet.
10
Yeah,
feet.
10 feet.
okay.
33, 35.
There's no way of doing that deck off to the side?
The issue with the left side, the right side is the garage, so that would
Right.
be through the garage. On the left side is the 2 bedrooms. There's also an issue with the slope of the lot and vegetation that is on the border between the two properties has a lot of ungrown vegetation. It would be substantially more expensive to essentially clear an area on the side to allow the deck to be placed there. It would be off of the bedroom instead of off a common area.
So it's all overgrown on that side?
Correct, yeah,
And it slopes away from the house, or
correct.
And so is you mentioned there's a breezeway connecting to the garage, is that little sort of space between the two larger?
Yeah, exactly. If you see, you're right. If you can sort of see the outline of the garage on the right there, it makes a square, and then the area in between is a breezeway. That breezeway is also enclosed.
Okay, but so you couldn't put a deck off of that?
There's a
The issue with,
bulkhead, right?
there's a bulkhead in the rear, which is shown on the plot plan, but the issue is that when they built the breezeway is at grade. It's
Okay.
not lifted up, so you have to go down to get to the deck and then back up. And because the homeowners are senior citizens and they're looking to their future, they like to have essentially one grade to get from indoor to outdoor space without having to do any stairs.
Okay.
They'd like to make this essentially a wheelchair accessible deck for the future.
And in this case, we do have certified plot plan.
Yeah.
Any other questions? You're good?
all set?
Anyone in attendance wish to be heard on this? There be no further questions or comments, we will take it under advisement. You will be notified of our decision.
Thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you. Our final 6:30 hearing is to hear the appeal of Kathleen and Robert Moon, 11 Hillside Drive, Shrewsbury, Mass., for a special permit for the town of Shrewsbury zoning bylaw under section 6, table 1, to construct an in-law unit in the basement of the existing single-family dwelling in Residence B1 district upon property located at 11 Hillside Drive. The subject premise is on the Shrewsbury Assessor's Tax Plate 40, Plot 143000. Welcome, and please state your name for the record.
My name is James Chastion. I'm here on behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Moon.
Okay,
Hi, I'm Kathy Moon.
And I'm Bob Moon.
okay.
If I might, thank you for being here this evening. This is a request by Mr. and Mrs. Moon to construct an in-law apartment in the lower level of a raised ranch. Their home is a raised ranch currently. Right now, it's occupied by a garage, and then there are some adjacent rooms for personal use. The home, if it's approved, will be occupied by Mrs. Moon's parents, both of whom are elderly and are ill. And this is the reason they have to move. Right now, they live in a condominium in Grafton and have to move and receive assistance. We had submitted with the request copies of some alternate designs.
Yep.
And the family has decided that, if this is relevant, I assume it is, that the concept A, which is the first one, other than the existing level, is the first one. It shows the master bedroom being in the rear of the home, foyer, of course, being the front of it. The only exterior change here will be the replacement of the garage door, of course, will go. And other than that, the exterior will remain the same.
Okay.
So I understand we're required to show that we're not creating any nuisance by this request.
Right,
And we don't
yeah.
really believe we will. Mrs. Moon expects her parents will have one vehicle, and other than that, they don't anticipate any reason why this would create further problem.
Okay, and you've been advised that there has to be a blood relative that lives there?
Yes.
And when you go to sell the house, the special permit expires,
Okay,
so you can't sell it as a multi-family.
right.
Anyone else have any questions?
No?
Anyone?
I don't.
Anyone in attendance wish to be heard on this? No? Okay, there being no further questions,
Thank you.
we're notified of our decision.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. 15 Jenny Street, Chris Reedy, any questions or comments?
No comments.
Everyone's good? Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion to approve?
Can I get it as a special permit?
Special permit.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Next, 12 Power Ave, to construct a deck 30 feet from the rear property line. I believe they've exhibited a hardship.
See it?
Yes.
Yeah. Any other discussion?
I have none.
Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve?
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And last but not least, 11 Hillside Drive, in-law apartment.
No issues.
Yeah,
No.
I don't think so either. So can I get a motion?
Motion to approve?
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Boylston CP LLC at 579 Lake Street was unanimously opposed and denied. 12 Miria Road, also unanimously opposed and denied. 15 Jennings Street was unanimously approved. And 12 Power Ave, also unanimously approved. I said anonymously, but no. That's how we used to operate.
Chris, when will we know if that's going to continue being a special permit or a variance?
So I hope, hopefully by next meeting, we'll have a response on that. It's just currently undergoing review, and
Okay. And 11 Hillside Drive was unanimously approved. Any new business?
if the board would like to welcome, we have a new staff member coming on board. Kelly is moving on to a new position with the town. But I'd like to welcome Kristen Ripolo to be taking that staff member position. So
Welcome.
Welcome, Kristen.
Yeah. And good luck. Kelly.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Good job with the fire department. And welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Ron.
From the planning board, and
From the
I have
planning
a
board,
question.
as chair of the
I
planning
don't know
board.
if it's new business, but it has to do with the 12 Mariah, however you say
It's
it,
not a new
Maria?
issue, yeah.
Mariah. Do you want our Mullins forms
Oh, yeah.
to hold on to?
Yes, I think we would wanna
Just in case that
still-
does get continued, okay.
Well, it won't get continued, but it may get.
Or,
Reconsidered.
yeah, reconsidered.
I'll sign my end of it.
And another question for you, you may not know the answer to this, but are in-law apartments considered as part of our affordable housing quota?
No, I don't believe
Should we
they
get
count
going
in
on
that.
that?
Yeah, so the affordable housing criteria, a lot of those units need to be certified through the state, and their criteria are very specific.
Yeah,
There's even
building codes and everything?
there's even instances where there are apartments that are probably meet the criteria, the same kind of situation, but because they're not deed restricted or otherwise certified through the state, they're not considered on that list.
Too bad,
Yeah,
because it's
would
an
have to
answer to affordable
Well, it
housing,
is-
and we're
it isn't,
doing a
because
lot.
you have this, you have, they sunset.
Well, we
So,
could, yeah,
so then the
true.
question is, you know.
You
some-
have to
some
count every
towns-
year.
Yeah, some towns do have provisions where you
Yeah.
can have a second unit by right if a house was built before X date. I've seen that in some bylaws, you know,
So-
that does answer some of the issues.
I would say on the state level and even on our local level, we have been reviewing options for affordable housing and
Okay.
addressing that. We're currently updating our housing production plan, which will
Great.
probably address that as well, so.
Okay.
More to come on that front, I
Nice.
believe.
Anything else? Nope. Can I get a motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Can I get a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.